The meeting with oneself is, at first, the meeting with one's own shadow. It is a narrow door and a hard one to pass through. Carl Jung. It's 3 a.m. and your phone's glow is a cruel spotlight in the dark. Your thumb hovers, scrolling through faces, bodies, promises of a quick fix. Your heart's racing, but it's not excitement. It's a gnawing ache you call lust. Just one more click, one more rush, and you'll feel alive. But you don't. The silence after isn't release. It's a mirror reflecting a truth you've dodged for too long. You're not chasing desire. You're running from emptiness. This is the myth we're sold. Lust is your power, your fire, the proof you're a man. It's natural, primal, a game you're wired to win. So you play it. Late nights, endless scrolls, fantasies that feel like control. But what if it's not a game? What if every swipe is a chain, locking you further from the man you were meant to be? What if lust isn't your strength, but your betrayal of yourself? Here's the raw deal. That hunger isn't about her body. It's about the void where your soul used to be. You're not just craving release. You're begging to feel whole, seen, alive. But no screen, no stranger, no fleeting high can give you that. This isn't about shame or sin. It's about sovereignty, taking back the man you've buried under illusions of dominance and need. On dark Psyphoria, we don't look away. We stare into the mirror of your pain, abandonment, betrayal, the ache of a boy who learned to trade his truth for touch. Lust isn't your hunter's instinct. It's your shadow, whispering that you're nothing without someone else's validation. And tonight, you've got a choice. Keep chasing the lie or face the reflection. Will you look at what's driving you, at the wounds you've buried under the craving? This isn't for the faint-hearted. It's for the man ready to see what hurts and what hides behind it. Jung might sound mystical, but his truth is universal. We all know the sting of chasing fixes that never last. So step up. Choose awareness. Look in the mirror and ask, what am I really running from? Subscribe to Dark Psyphoria, not for noise, but for the voice you've ignored too long. Your own. You tell yourself it's simple. You see her. You want her. You act. It's biology, right? Your brain lights up with dopamine, the same chemical that drove cavemen to hunt or fight. Ledoux, 2002. Lust feels like survival, a spark that proves you're alive. You're the hunter, she's the game, and the chase is your birthright. That's the story you've bought, hook, line, and sinker. But biology doesn't explain the crash. The way the high fades into a heavier darkness. The way you feel more lost after than before. If it was just a primal urge, why does it leave you hollow? Why does the mirror show a man who's not in control but controlled? This isn't about desire. It's about dependence on a feeling, a fantasy, a lie. Carl Jung saw through this a century ago. He wrote, "People will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own soul. Lust isn't your power, it's your escape. From what? From the truth that you're disconnected, from your purpose, your emotions, the man you could be. You're not chasing her body. You're chasing the illusion of being whole. But every time you give in, you tighten the chains, mistaking friction for fire. Have you ever thought you wanted her, but really, you just wanted to feel something real? That's the first crack in the myth. Lust feels like dominance, but it's obedience to a need you don't own. You're not the hunter. You're the hunted, trapped by a craving that's eating you alive. Let's tear it apart. Biological, psychological, spiritual. Biologically, lust is a cheap trick. Your brain's reward system spikes, but it's a slot machine rigged to lose. Dopamine surges, then crashes, leaving you hungrier than before. Psychologically, it's a mirror of your wounds. Jung called it the shadow. The parts of you that were never loved right, now searching in all the wrong places. That boy inside, the one who felt abandoned, betrayed, unseen. He's the one scrolling at 4 a.m., begging to be held. Spiritually, it's a betrayal of your fire. You trade your creative energy, your mission, for a spark that burns out fast. Picture it. You're alone, phone in hand, chasing a face that feels like salvation. For a moment, she's everything. Warmth, softness, the answer to the ache. One minute, she's your escape. The next, she's a mirror, reflecting how far you've drifted from yourself. The silence after isn't empty. It's surgical, cutting through the lie that she could fix you. That's not love. That's control. Your shadow pulling the strings, keeping you from the truth. For women, it's the animus, the inner masculine, the drive for purpose or strength projected onto someone else. For all of us, it's the same, a soul crying for what we've buried. Have you ever mistaken attention for love? That's the second crack. You think she's the light, but she's just a mirror, showing you what you've abandoned. And the more you chase her, the more you betray yourself. You start needing more. More stimulation, more novelty, more intensity. Why? Because your soul isn't just craving, it's starving. You scroll endlessly, replay images that made you feel something, anything. But every time it ends, the mirror shows a man further from himself than before. Jung said the shadow doesn't seduce with evil, but with illusion. You don't see her. You see your unmet needs, your suppressed pain, your forgotten warmth. And because you haven't faced them, you try to possess them outside. But lust without love always collapses. No one can complete your broken identity. No rush can heal a soul that hasn't been felt. You think the answer is more. More content, more experiences, more bodies. But you're just running faster in a maze that leads back to the mirror. The damage creeps in quietly, like cracks in a mirror you don't notice until it shatters. At first, it's small. You stop making eye contact. You dodge deep conversations. You retreat into fantasies that feel safer than reality. You smile in public, but inside you're numb. Then it gets uglier. You lose your fire, not just for women, but for life. You stop writing. You stop building. You stop dreaming. Why? Because lust, when you feed it mindlessly, consumes the energy meant for your mission. Jung warned of this. The dregs of my thought, my dreams, are the speech of my soul. Ignore that speech, and lust becomes a nasty loop. Trigger, reaction, relief, guilt, repeat. Every cycle strengthens the chain. You start to believe this is who you are, a man defined by his urges. But you weren't born addicted to bodies. You were born craving connection, warmth, not friction, love, not lust, presence, not performance. The cost is your sovereignty. Lust teaches you to escape, not to endure. You can't sit with silence, so you scroll. You can't face discomfort, so you swipe. You can't look in the mirror, so you chase someone else's skin. And the worst part? You start to hate yourself. You call yourself weak, broken, a failure. But it's not brokenness, it's disconnection from the man you've buried. Relationships crumble. You sabotage connection because you can't handle the awkward silence, the longing, the risk of rejection. You'd rather control the narrative in a fantasy where you're wanted, powerful, never turned away. But that's the trap. You stop showing up for the real world. You lose the courage to fail, to try, to build something real with someone real. And it gets worse. Your mind scatters, your heart hardens, your dreams dry up. Nothing that once lit you up can compete with the intensity you've wired into your system. The high is short, the aftermath is long. You start needing more and feeling less. Jung called this psychic possession, when your shadow hijacks your will. You're not chasing lust anymore. Your loneliness, your unloved inner child, is chasing someone to hold him in the only way he knows how. Did she change, or did you just stop seeing the illusion? That's the question. Lust doesn't just keep you from love. It keeps you from becoming you. It robs your focus, your clarity, your mission. You don't just lose her. You lose the man you became to chase her. The awakening, reclaiming the mirror. Here's where the game changes. Non-reaction. The next time that urge hits, don't move, don't swipe, don't scroll. Stay with the ache. Let it burn. It's not your enemy. It's your mirror, showing you what you've ignored. Jung didn't tell you to kill the fire. He told you to face it. That craving isn't evil. It's a signal, a map to the parts of you you've abandoned. Start here. Try active imagination, a Jungian tool. Close your eyes. Picture her, the one you can't stop thinking about. Ask her, what part of me do you represent? Listen. Write it down. Maybe she's your lost softness. Maybe she's the boy who never felt enough. Whatever she says, it's not about her. It's about you. This is how you talk to your shadow, how you start to see the mirror clearly. This is the power of stillness. By staying with the craving, you break the chain. You don't become cold, you become clear. You hear the voice you've silenced, I miss you. It's the man you left behind, the one who wanted meaning, not just release. And the more you listen, the more the fire transforms. It stops being a trap and becomes a bridge. Nietzsche said, that which is done out of love always takes place beyond good and evil. When you reconnect with your anima, your ability to feel, to nurture, to be whole, lust becomes sacred. It's no longer about possession, it's about creation. You write again, not to impress, but to feel. You build again, not to prove, but to live. You become a man who doesn't need to chase because he's already home. This isn't a one-time fix, it's a daily practice. Sit in nature, let yourself cry, breathe and ask, what do I really want? The answer isn't her, it's you. Over time, the cravings lose their grip, not because they vanish, but because you don't fear them. You welcome the heat. You thank the fire. You see it for what it is, a call to love, to beauty, to meaning, to yourself. If this truth cracked your mirror, share it. Not for the algorithm, but for the man still lost in the maze. The wound hasn't gone away. That late-night pull, that itch to scroll, that hunger you called lust, it's still there. But now you see it in the mirror. It's not desire. It's a reflection of the man you've neglected. You didn't lose her. You lost the sovereignty you traded for her attention. The truth you've been avoiding is this. No body, no fantasy, no rush can fill the void of a soul you haven't faced. This is the masculine arc. From begging for validation to standing in your own gravity. You don't need her touch to feel alive. You don't need her eyes to know your worth. You need to come home to yourself. Start now. Stay with the silence. Write what you feel. Ask, what am I really craving? And listen. Day by day, the chains fall. The mirror clears. The fire doesn't die. It lights your path. Picture him, a man at dawn, shoulders square, eyes steady. He's not running anymore. He's not chasing shadows. He's whole, not because he won the game, but because he stopped playing it. His heart is his own. His fire is his mission. He's home. This is the revolution of non-reaction. You don't shame the craving. You don't repress it. You face it. You ask, what are you trying to show me? And when you do, lust stops being your master. It becomes your teacher, pointing you back to the man you were always meant to be. You don't need to possess anyone. You don't need to be rescued. You've already saved yourself. In the silence, in the mirror, in the fire you stopped running from. So, what's it going to be? Another night chasing illusions, or a morning facing the truth? The mirror's waiting. What do you see? Comment one word below that names what you're ready to face. Truth, pain, self. This is dark Psyphoria, where the illusion shatters and the real man rises. Thank you for watching. Walk your path with quiet strength.